So when it comes to buying a new camera, this is probably one of the most exciting parts of being a filmmaker or photographer. But if you don't have your workflow set up and have it installed and ready to go when you get that new camera, you're going to run into a bunch of roadblocks and headaches. And so in this video, I wanted to show you guys my workflow when it comes to working with bigger cameras. And no matter what system you have, whether you've bought your new dream camera or you're about to buy your new dream camera, I'm gonna show you guys a couple key features that are gonna help make your post-production workflow that much better. Now, at the heart of your setup, everything is going to be based on your desk. And thanks to FlexiSpot for actually sending out this sit-stand desk, but this really is where everything lives. Now, personally, I love this desk for a couple key features and a couple things that you guys should definitely consider. For one, the desk is really not that expensive, which is amazing, but at the same time, you want to get something that is very well built, very durable, so that way it can house your entire post-production workflow. The thing I love about this one in particular is the fact that it actually has 4 customizable sit-stand options. So you literally just press a button and the desk will rise or lower down to whatever predetermined area that you set up. This thing is super easy to build. On top of that, this also has a couple USB ports that can be used for charging. And probably one of my favorite things about it is that it does have a USB-C port on this as well. So if you need to charge like one of your cell phones or something like that. Also, this desk has a drawer, which is actually something that I've been finding less and less in most desks today. But it's nice to have a place to be able to store some quick little knickknacks when you need them. Now, they have a couple different options you can choose from. I'll have the one that I personally have linked down below, but you can definitely check through Amazon and see all the different options that they have. Now, if the desk is the heart of your setup, the brain is definitely going to be your computer. And that is courtesy of today's video sponsor, Dell, with the Precision 5750. Now, I've done a couple videos on this workstation before, and my opinions about this workstation have not changed in the slightest. This workstation is a beast, and it has become even more imperative to me recently since we've started shooting more of our projects on the new Red Raptor. Now, the Red Raptor, for those of you guys who don't know, is an 8K shooting 120 frames per second cinema camera. This thing is a monster, and the files are monstrous as well. And something that I found really exciting about working with this new Precision 5750, especially when it comes to working with it with the Raptor, is that this thing can handle the footage without any issues. Now, I personally like to have a bigger monitor setup. So in my setup here, I actually have the 5750 going into my BenQ photographer's monitor, which I did an entire video on. You can check that out in the cards above. But this setup is absolutely amazing. It allows me to edit all this content in DaVinci Resolve without any dropped frames in full 8K RAW. Now, the Dell Precision 5750 is not only great for just the actual editing process, but everything that works through this workflow. So for example, I have this CF Express card reader that I can plug directly into this guy via Thunderbolt and be able to ingest my footage instantly. It is incredibly fast. On top of that, one thing that the Precision 5750 has that we're really seeing a lot of laptops and workstations kind of moving away from is an SD card slot. Now, yes, even though I am shooting on like the Red Komodo and the Red Raptor, still, a lot of the cameras that we use, whether that's the Canon R6 for photography or even our Zoom recorder, they use SD cards. And having an SD card slot on this Precision 5750 makes that one less thing that we actually have to plug into this system. Now, this thing docks directly onto the desk right next to the monitor, and I added a little bit of green foliage on there so that way I can bring a little bit of life to the desk, although the plant is actually not real because I can't keep real plants alive. Don't sue me. But I personally love this setup. Pairing this setup with a Razer mouse and a DaVinci Resolve mapped keyboard really does make this a perfect editing station. Now, there is one more thing that really brings this whole system together, and that is my brand new NAS system. Now, if you guys do follow me over on Instagram, you know that getting this NAS set up and working has been a multi-week journey. But I personally am happy to say that I have finally got it set up and it is working within our creative workflow. Now, this NAS does a couple things. For one, it is now going to be the new home for all of our current active media. There is 100 220 terabytes on this system with an additional 4 terabytes just for caching, and I have another additional terabyte for additional caching. Now, this allows this system to work really smooth, but one of the big benefits of this particular model that I went with is that I can have up to 4 editors working on this drive at the exact same time. So this means that now when I have multiple editors here in the office and we're all working, instead of us having to transfer files back and forth from hard drive to hard drive, now everything can go directly through this NAS. And pairing this NAS up with the Dell has really made the entire system that much smoother. Now, fully transparent mode here, this setup that I just showed you guys is a phenomenal setup and I absolutely love it. However, I did have to make a couple minor adjustments. Since initially putting together this setup, now as you guys can actually see behind me, I actually do have the Dell Precision already going here in the office. Here at this desk that I'm currently sitting at, we have another post-production setup, and on this other desk right over here where you can kind of actually see my editor kind of peeking his chair right in the frame, we actually have another editing setup. And the biggest thing is that whenever you are creating your post-production setup, when you're putting these things together, you want to think about what is going to make the process the simplest for you. A couple things is obviously that desk. The next one being your actual workstation, your laptop. What is best for you? And this is one of the reasons why I lean so heavily into that Dell Precision 5750, because it really does help make editing these larger and more complex files that much easier, especially when working with them in DaVinci Resolve. And then of course you want to have some type of a hard drive solution. For us, that is a NAS that allows multiple editors to work off of it simultaneously. But one of the biggest benefits is having redundancy in that backup. So with our NAS, we do have it rated. And on top of that, we also have that backing up to Backblaze, who allows us to back up our NAS and have a secondary copy of everything that's on our NAS on a external location where if something happens to the actual NAS here, we're safe because everything is stored off site as well. Make sure you take the time to put your workstation together to suit you best, because trust me, it's going to make your job and your love of your new dream camera that much better. I want to thank Dell again for sponsoring this video and helping making this entire workflow possible. We really appreciate it. And if you guys have any additional questions for me about this workstation or anything you've heard in this video, leave those down in the comments, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.